Now, in addition to adjusting the spine, it's also very important that we adjust the extremities. And when we talk about the extremities, we mean the leg from the hip, knee, and ankle, as well as the foot. And we're talking about the arm from the shoulder, elbow, wrist, and down into the fingers. People often ask me, why is it important to adjust these areas? I use the example quite often of digging in dirt with a shovel. If you're digging through normal, natural dirt, you can really kind of get in there, and with the shovel, no problem. But the second that you hit a rock or maybe some cement or concrete area, once you hit that hard surface, that force that you've put in is going to be against an immovable force, and so it's going to reverberate back through and sort of feed back through the shovel into your hands. Well, when we consider the legs, and every time you take a step, that leg is designed to dissipate some of that force from the impact that you receive every time you strike the ground. With the arms, when you're sitting there and using, whether it be typing or throwing things, proper movement as well is going to depend on how efficient you're able to perform certain activities. So I tell people adjusting the extremities allows the body to dissipate forces that would otherwise then be transferred from those extremities right into our spine as well as our spinal musculature. So if we can dissipate them before they even get to the spine, then we can keep the spine more protected and more fluid in its movements. Now when we adjust the feet, we start out, or the leg, we start out at the feet area. Then we move into the ankles, the knee, and the hip as well. Adjusting into the feet is quite simple. We've got about 36 different joints, and we want to make sure that there's proper movement in all those joints, or as many that we can achieve. And so we have a predefined number of adjustments and method to achieve mobility in those. And then we move up into the knee, which actually has 2 joints. And finally, in the hip area, we want to do just some basic distraction in through there. Always important that we adjust both sides. And then up into the knee. And into the hip. Then we move into the arms. In the arms in particular are the bones of the wrist. So we're going to be feeling around to see what doesn't move. And adjusting in those areas, as well as the wrist bones. We go into the hands and specific fingers. Then making sure that the elbow is properly aligned. As well as the shoulder. Again, on the other side, just to make sure balance is restored. And you may be able to see this one a little bit better, what we're actually doing. Adjusting each of the wrist bones, then into the hands. Up into the elbow. And then the inside of the elbow. And finally, into the shoulder. Lastly, to finish our adjustments, we're going to have Amanda flip over onto her belly. And we're going to adjust the knees from behind. And then you'll probably be able to see this one a little bit better. Now we have a complete adjusted protocol, not only of the spine, but then also taking into account the extremities, including the legs and the arms.